The Return of the King is fun. It's got a great little animation style. It focuses primarily on Frodo and Sam's story, which I really enjoyed. I like that it emphasizes the ring and kind of the power it has and the influence it can have over others. And so I really enjoy that aspect, but I wish that the movie had gone a little bit more into the detail on the other side and the actual War of the Ring. I feel like there's a lot that gets cut out in respect to those characters and their stories. Many of the main characters, including Gimli and Legolas, don't even get featured in this version of the story. And so I've never loved it for that, but I do think it is still a very fun and very enjoyable interpretation of Tolkien's last book in the Lord of the Rings series. Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings is actually a really enjoyable movie. I always find myself having a good time when I watch it. It, for the most part, is pretty accurate to the story that Tolkien wrote in the books. There obviously are some things missing as the film compresses two books into one movie, but overall it's still fun. It still does justice to a lot of the characters, even if some are omitted. But I really enjoy it. I think it's a great way to introduce yourself to the Lord of the Rings. The Two Towers is my least favorite of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, but by no means does that mean that this is a bad film. It is absolutely outstanding from start to finish and has probably the greatest action battle that has occurred in Lord of the Rings or has occurred in cinema in general with the Battle of Helm's Deep. The movie is just pure entertainment. It is so much fun. It is such a good story, even if it falls a little bit short in comparison to the other two. The Return of the King is the closure to Peter Jackson's trilogy, and it is an outstanding movie. If there's one word to describe it, it is just epic. From the Battle of Pelennor Fields to the Battle of the Black Gates to the fight with Shelob and Sam, there are so many moments in this film that are memorable, so many parts that are just amazing, and character moments that help us to love them even more, to the point that whenever this movie comes to a close, even if I've seen it 50 times before, I still find myself feeling a little bit sad that there's not more to be watched. It's an amazing movie, absolutely one of the greatest that's ever been made. But in the top spot is going to be The Fellowship of the Ring, the first film in Peter Jackson's trilogy, and there's just something about this one that I've always loved. I think it's the fact that it's kind of the one that introduced us to the world of Middle-earth. It is the one that introduced us to these characters that we fall in love with over this trilogy. This is my first introduction to Middle-earth in general, as I had never read the books or anything before seeing these movies. I absolutely love this one. I love the stories. It's the only one where we really get to see all 9 companions of the Fellowship interacting together before it all splits apart. And I really enjoy that interaction. I like seeing these characters together, and for that reason, this is my favorite Lord of the Rings movie.